I would love to tell you everything that I learned, what I got, what I created, the challenge, the gifts, the struggles of this 21-day water fast I completed recently, and way too long it would be. So, not telling you I am all of it now. What I am telling you, though, is something shocking and very powerful that happened through the midst of it. Now, I will come back over the next days and share more about what I got and what the challenges were, and happy to respond to questions and little context. Well, yes, I will get to in a moment how I royally screwed it up yesterday, the mess that I made. First, though, a little context. Going back about 2 months ago, I realized that I had unconsciously, unintentionally created some negative impact in the world around me, in an organization I'm involved with, in some way in my business. And while it was unintentional, I believe that I am responsible for all of the impact I create. Which is not to say I'm a martyr. I'm not taking responsibility for the whole world. It's just that is where I have power to learn and grow. So, coming to that realization, which I imagine if you've had that kind of experience before where you realize that you hurt somebody, well, let me just put it back to me. Many other times in my life when I realized I hurt somebody, didn't mean to, even though I didn't mean to, I hurt them. And oh, it hurt me when I realized that, like a knife turning inside me. So that happened. I am committed to learning and growing through screw ups, through criticism. I got some pretty harsh criticism from some people I respect, some of my mentors. I am committed to learning and growing, to alchemizing criticism into brilliance. So, okay, I'm going on a quest. I'm diving into a quest. The quest is to love and serve purely, absent of self-concern. And here's what I realized. Here's what the impact was. What happened was, as much as I have oriented my life for many, many years around love and service, and I could say I accomplished some great things in the midst of that. I really did have loved and served. And I realized that there was a contaminant happening in the last few months that I wasn't aware of, tainting that love and service. And the contaminant was me, self-concern. So, realizing this, quest begins. I will love and serve without self-concern. How I appear, what they think of me, what's in it for me, what am I going to get from this? Lofty goal, yes. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. Some of my heroes, Jesus, Martin Luther King Jr., Mother Teresa. Did they do it perfectly? I don't know. They did it to a degree way beyond what I've been able to do so far. So, I created some rituals a couple months ago. I shared with a men's group that I'm involved with. Hey, here's what I did. Oh, yuck. I don't like admitting it. I want your help. Help me to see it. Right. I spoke to my coach about it. Got some suggestions from him about it. Right. And then every equinox and solstice, I do a fast, at least 3 days of water fast. In the spring, I do at least 7. Coming up onto the solstice, I said, yeah, let's do it a little bit early. Let's just start that fast now. I was going to do the 3 days. I got to the end of the 3 days. Clear guidance said, don't stop. Keep going. And this is the very first time in now decades of fasting and cleansing. And why do I fast and cleanse? Because it works so amazingly well. Every time I do it, I get marked improvements in my health, my body, my fitness, my mental clarity, emotional lightness, clarity. In my home, in my office, everything gets better spiritually. Excuse me a second. So, however, and this is the very first time that I do a cleanse, a fast with a specific intent. And my intent was I'm on quest. This is a project, right? This is my mission right now. And hey, I know, I believe this mission, this quest will continue my entire lifetime, right? I will, a year from now, 5 years from now, 50 years now, discover more ways. Ooh, look, there was self-concern. I hadn't realized it. I can love and serve more purely. So I'm not thinking I'm going to end this now forever. If I can, cool, let's go. What I am thinking, what I did commit to myself to, is I'm going to go to the absolute deepest bottom of this I can right now. So the fast was in service of that. Okay. I go into the fast in service of that. After 3 days, clear guidance, keep going. That's how it became a 21-day, longest fast I've ever done. And it was not easy. Many times it was not easy, right? I was working a lot, right? And my physical energy, I would say, in one way, I would say it was depleted, or it went through waves, which is true. I have, though, on long fast, 14 days before, have hiked mountains, played ultimate frisbee, done anything I want, because I do also believe that I'm capable. However, on this one, I got this clarity that, no, don't push it, man, right? Take it, let the body rest a bit so that the internal cleansing, the spiritual and physical cleansing, can happen more effectively. Use the energy for that. So, yesterday, well, actually, let's get to yesterday this way. This morning, I do what I do every morning, which is create myself, right? I use my Supreme Self Manifesto, my manifesto, as the core part of my self-creation, which means I speak out loud. I declare who I am and who I'm creating myself to be. And when I speak that out loud, I do two things in the process. Now, it's very natural. I reflect back. Was I doing that yesterday? How was I doing that yesterday? I imagine forward. I have this coming up today. I'm going to do that today. Give you an example from the realization from this quest. Here's the declaration that comes to me. Hang with me. It's got a few words to it. It goes like this: I am infinite, impactful service with a heart broken open, loving, purely, generously, absent of self-concern. May sound like a lot of words, and maybe like, wow, guys, what do we say? To me, it's very meaningful. Every word is chosen carefully. When I say that out loud, when I say that to myself in the morning, when I say that to God, to the divine, I speak it out. I feel it. I come alive with it. And this morning, I did that. And when I said it, when I came alive with it, from instantly back to yesterday afternoon, about 5 p.m., when I was at Petco, the pet shop. I was at Petco again for like third or fourth time in a few weeks. Why? Because I was buying over-the-counter flea medication, not for me, for my dog, Kiki, the Wonder Poodle. Flea medication. She's been, having a challenge with fleas. So I was like, I don't feel like going back to the veterinarian and get a prescription. We've used that before. That's good. I'll just get the over-the-counter stuff. And hey, one great thing about Petco, they emphasize, use any of our products. If it doesn't work the way you want, return it. Okay. So I decided to take advantage. Hey, let's talk about that phrase, take advantage, because English has its limitations. What an amazing language English is, however, limitations. Spanish, I love, has two different words for take advantage, right? One of them, aprovechar, it means take advantage of something, no negative implication. In English, a lot of the time when we say I'm going to take advantage, it means I'm going to, in a negative way, be an opportunist. I'm going to find a loophole, right? I'm going to take the advantage. I'm going to win. They're going to lose. That's what we often mean. I didn't mean it that way. I was like, okay, cool. Petco's got a generous policy with that. That's smart, good business. I do my shopping there. That's part of the reason. Spend a lot of money there. And so 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 different flea medications bought, tried out, didn't work. Like a day later, lots of fleas. When I used the one from the veterinarian last year, no problem. We didn't have fleas again for the entire 6 months of the duration. Okay. So I go in there yesterday to return the latest one. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'll save time if I just go to the veterinarian. Okay, it'll cost more. It'll take more time. And right, I'm not going to keep coming back and forth. So I go in there to return it. The woman who's working at the counter, I get there and she's like, let me guess, you want to return flea medication? I was like, that's right. She's like, getting to be a habit, isn't it? I was like, oh. Now, I was catching a meaning, right? This is my interpretation. The meaning I caught was she's implying I'm taking advantage. Like I'm somehow taking advantage in the negative way. Like I'm working the system here, right? Like maybe I'm using one from each one of these packages as a way not to pay for flea medication. I was at that point, I'd done a bunch of errands. They were taking a long time. I'm on day 12 now of coming back from the fast. I was really ready to have some food. I was just like feeling super hungry, getting irritable, just wanting my errands to be over with, get home already. I'd been out for hours. So I looked at her and I was like, I could feel myself, a little anger coming up. Like, is there something more you want to say? What are you implying? She's like, well, just that it's getting to be a habit. I was like, internal monologue, just don't engage, dude. Just smile, say whatever. Okay, cool. I was like, well, tell you, it's really not all that fun for me doing this. So, and then she says, well, you let your conscience be the judge. I had a little internal reaction to that as well. Now, mind you, that was the worst of our interaction. Okay. That was the worst of my comportment, my behavior with her. Could be a whole lot worse. I know what people in retail deal with. I had it years ago in my life. Irate customers, rude customers, selfish. I was nothing compared to what it could be. Right. Okay. And back to this morning, my declaration, flashback to yesterday. Was I pure love and service? Right? Was I loving purely and generously? Was I infinite, impactful service? Did I make her day better? Right? Did I help her smile about herself? Did I thank her for the tireless work that she's doing there? Did I have self-concern? Was I worried about what she thought about me if I was taking advantage of their policy? Was I thinking about, I want to get home and have my dinner? Yeah. So was I doing what I say I am? No. Am I beating myself up about that? No. Right? I hold myself in innocence. I forgive myself for that yesterday. Right? And because of that, I hold myself to a higher standard. So I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled because the quest, it's working. And guess what? That happened yesterday afternoon. My experience with my manifesto happened this morning at 6 a.m. At 8 a.m., I had my first call with my first group coaching program. I have 2 in a row today. Both that one and the following one, way deeper. The level of service and love that I brought to that group, to the people I worked with today, deeper, more loving than ever before. And I know in my bones that's a direct result of this quest. And not just from the quest as a pie in the sky, as a dream, as a hope, as a practice. So last thing, the ritual, because I was speaking about this, I was sharing a little bit about it with my coaching clients earlier today. I think I share something about what's going on with me. And there's another way I messed up yesterday. I saw a good friend and I was talking to him for a while about, in fact, he's moving off island. Oh, I'm sad about that, bummed. And this was the next stop after that. I was really wanting to get home. We were in Whole Foods. He's a manager there. And I'm talking to him and okay, I'm going to go home. Just doing my shopping. Then I see him a few minutes later and he smiles like, "Can I help you find something, sir?" And, he was joking sweetly. My response, "The door," as in a complaint. Yes. And I switched my bracelet, went back to day one of the complaint-free challenge. I said, "The door." And it was a complaint. It wasn't joking with him. It wasn't making his life better. And so I realized also, if I hadn't been so self-concerned with him yesterday, I might have said to him, "Dude, you're moving away in 3 weeks. How can I help? That must be a big thing. How can I serve? How can I make your transition better?" Nope, I missed that because I was self-concerned. So I sent him a message today. How can I help? And then I was thinking to myself, well, I guess there's nothing I can do with that woman at Petco because, I may never see her again. And, she'd probably never give it a second thought anyway. And it would just be weird if I went up there and cleaned it up. Then I realized, well, wait a minute. What if? And so I $10 Starbucks gift certificate. It's right next door to where Petco is. So my daughter's bringing one to me today. My daughter works at Starbucks. I will then go to Petco. I'll stop in and I'll give her that card and say, "Hey, you're doing a great job. I appreciate you. Thank you for your work," and give her the card. And then that's it. And hopefully she'll receive it. Hopefully she'll enjoy it. And in a way, more importantly, that will help me to cement the learning, to grow with this learning. It's a ritual that helps me to go deeper. So, my friends, amigos, I hope that this was interesting and useful for you. I would love to hear, ¿Qué pasa? What do you think? How does this occur to you? Have you fasted? Would you love to fast? If you got questions, if you got comments, put them below and I would love to respond. So I also love you. So grateful for you being here. Thank you. Aloha.